Hello, everyone. This is the Insider Threat Podcast, an ISO 3103 1980 compliant show where we explore issues with the human factor and its impact on security and business. I'm your host, Steve Higdon. This is a special Thanksgiving Day episode for everyone in the United States, and for everybody else, happy Thursday, I suppose. Welcome back. I'm not going to give this a strict episode number because it's kind of a special edition. I just wanted to tell you all happy Thanksgiving, and I hope that you're taking some time to spend with family and friends to enjoy the holiday. I also wanted to give a little reminder about the t-shirt contest. Please submit your designs or contact me if you have any questions about it at any of the methods that I'll give at the end of this episode and every episode. And I also wanted to let you know that through the holiday season this year, I'm only going to be doing episodes every other week. So don't freak out if you don't hear anything on Monday. I didn't get hit by a bus or anything like that. So once again, only doing episodes every other week during the holidays. So since this is a short holiday episode, we're not going to have an InfoSec question of the week, and we're not going to have a quote of the week like we usually do. But I did want to tie it somehow back into Insider Threat. When the Pilgrims came and they were starving because they didn't have any food, they made friends with the Native Americans here in the United States, and they developed a trust that eventually led to this feast or this way for the Native Americans to help them out. And as you can imagine, this was a great relationship right off the bat. The problem, though, is shortly afterwards, the settlers in the United States got greedy, and we won't go too much into that. I think it's obvious. History books have a very good account of the mistreatment that the Native Americans received. And because of that breach of trust, because of that mistreatment and the culture, dare I say, that came up between the Native Americans and the settlers, they became enemies, eventually, over time. Now, I don't know which one you would call the insider threats, because technically the Native Americans were here first. But I think it goes without saying that there was a breach of trust, like I said, and increased risk to the organization due to this change in culture. Now, where am I going with this? It just seems like an awful history lesson. Well, let me swing it back around. We talked about this a little bit last week with Dr. Helena Fosu on how a terrible working relationship or a terrible work environment and culture can actually breed insider threats and increase risk to the organization. So when we establish trust between employers and subordinates or employees, it's important to not only cultivate that trust and maintain it, but also to remember it. Otherwise, it could be problems for your organization in the long run. Now, I know very well that that was a stretch, and it's only loosely tied to the history of the settlers in the United States or America at that point and the Native Americans. But I also think there's lessons to be learned from our history. And perhaps, just perhaps, we can use those lessons to help influence our decisions in our own organizations when it comes to insider threat risk. And I want to give a really quick disclaimer. In no way am I calling Native Americans insider threats. I'm also not saying in any way, shape, or form that they were employees of the settlers at that time. I'm just saying that relationships, whether it be between indigenous people and settlers or employees and employers, have to be taken seriously or bad things can happen. So once again, happy Thanksgiving to everybody in the United States. May we take this time to be thankful for everyone in our lives. And in my case, I'm thankful for you, for all you listeners out there who actually take the time out of your busy week to listen to me rant about something that I'm definitely passionate about. And I just hope that you're passionate about it as well. So with that, again, I apologize for the short episode, but I've got friends and family too, and I want them to get as much of my time as I can give them. So thank you for listening to this special edition Thanksgiving episode of the Insider Threat Podcast. Please remember to subscribe and review in your favorite podcast app, and also share with everyone you know. Those reviews are key to building this out and improving for later episodes, so please feel free to leave suggestions. You can contact me on Twitter at Steve Higdon or send an email to steve@theinsiderthreatpodcast.com. Join our Reddit community and discussions at the subreddit named Insider Threat. The subreddit is also where you'll find the show notes for this and any other episode, as well as links to the topics we've covered. If you go to our website, you can also find a link to the Patreon page, and you can subscribe to the newsletter to get up up-to-date information on current episodes and news for the show. Call and leave a voicemail at 443-292-2287 to have a conversation, get a comment added to the show, or even ask a question. Don't forget about those t-shirt designs once again. Thanks again, and I'll see you folks next time.